Present, participating remotely from my home in Chippewa Township, Isabella County, Michigan.
Commissioner Hope,
Present, attending remotely from my home in the city of Mount Pleasant, Isabella County, Michigan.
Commissioner Marino,
Present, participating remotely from my home in Mount Pleasant, Michigan, Isabella County.
Commissioner Swaney,
Present, attending the meeting remotely from my home in Mount Pleasant, Michigan, Isabella County.
Commissioner Horton.
I'm present, attending remotely from my home in Union Township, Mount Pleasant, Michigan, Isabella County.
All present, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Clerk Lux. Next up, approval of the agenda. Tonight we have general public comments. We have nothing under presentations and special reports. We have nothing under appointments to boards and commissions under consent agenda. We have a consent agenda. Next moves to committee reports. Finance and Administration Committee.
Finance and Administration is all set, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. I guess I'll go back to number 7, consent agenda. Is there any commissioners have any problem with anything on the consent agenda that they'd like removed? All right, sorry about that. Moving on next to the to Criminal Justice and County Affairs. We have no business. Brings us to Human Resources and Public Works Committee.
Human Resources and Public Works is all set, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, sir. Next up, nothing under governmental affairs. We have nothing under the Administrator Controller report. We have no unfinished business. We have no new business. That brings us to general public comments and then announcements, and then we adjourn. Can I have a motion and support, please, for the approval of the agenda?
Move Jelazinski.
Support Swaney.
Marino.
We have a motion and support to approve the agenda. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, the same. We have an agenda. General public comments. Nicole, do we have anybody on the lines this evening?
We do not at this time, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, I will wait just a few more moments and then we will move on. Okay, we'll close general public comments. No, we have nothing under presentations and special reports. Nothing under item 6, appointments to boards and commissions, which brings us to the consent agenda. And like a voice from the past, Commissioner Swaney, would you mind reading that, please?
Yes, Chairman Horton. Consent agenda reads, motion, move to approve and place on file the April 20th, 2021 regular meeting minutes, the April 27th, 2021 Human Resources and Public Works Committee meeting minutes, and the April 27th, 2021 Finance and Administration Committee meeting minutes.
Support.
We have a motion and support to approve the consent agenda. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, Clerk Lux, a roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Jelazinski,
Yes.
Commissioner Hutchinson,
Yes.
Commissioner Marino,
Yes.
Commissioner Swaney,
Yes.
Commissioner Hope,
Yes.
Commissioner Engler,
Yes.
Commissioner Horton.
Yes.
Votes cast is 7 ayes, 0 nays. Motion passed, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Clerk Lux. Next up, committee reports. First up, Finance and Administration Committee.
Okay, first item, April 16th, 2021 invoice list, April 23rd, 2021 invoice list, and April 29th, 2021 adjustment list. Motion reads, move and place on file the April 16th, 2021 invoice list in the amount of $238,755.51. The April 23rd, 2021 invoice list in the amount of $339,606.51, and the adjustment list dated April 29th, 2021.
Support.
We have a motion and support to approve the April 16th, 2021 invoice list, the April 23rd, 2021 invoice list, and the April 29th, 2021 adjustment list. Discussion.
Okay, taking these one at a time, the April 16th invoice list. We have the HATS biweekly animal control contract payment. We have our monthly equalization contract payment for Preston Community Services. And then we have numerous payments to Land and Resource Engineering for mostly Mission Creek Drain. And then Granger, monthly compactor service, business information service systems, couple payments for annual data processing services contract. And then we have our monthly day treatment contract with McBride Quality Care. That's $38,885.74. Those are the large items over $5,000. We also have on that list $1,329.80 of COVID-related expenses. On the next list, April 24th, and our Consumers Energy monthly utilities for the admin building, for building and grounds, restitution payment from the clerk's office, and then several drain debt payments to Isabella Bank. And on that list, we had $978.46 of COVID-related expenses. And the adjustment list from April 16th, we had several early payments to Gordon Food Service because we get the early payment discount from them. There was one invoice decreased because of the removal of sales tax. And then another invoice voided because it was already paid, and one added for Consumers Energy to avoid a late fee there. And then the April 23rd list, also Gordon Food Service early payment discount, and then Isabella Bank to avoid a bank late fee. And that pretty much sums that up, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Any further discussion among commissioners? Hearing and seeing none, Clerk Lux, a roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Marino,
Yes.
Commissioner Swaney,
Yes.
Commissioner Hope,
Yes.
Commissioner Engler,
Yes.
Commissioner Jazinski,
Yes.
Commissioner Hutchinson,
Yes.
Commissioner Horton.
Yes.
Votes cast is 7 ayes, 0 nays. Motion passed, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Clerk Lux.
The next item is the fiscal year 2021 budget amendment, jail project, liability insurance, and drain at large. Motion reads, move to approve the fiscal year 2021 budget amendment in the amount of $1,967,074.14 to cover additional expenses for the Isabella County Sheriff's Office and Correctional Facility Project, the county's liability insurance retention fund, and the county's drain at large assessment, and authorize the board chair to sign the same.
Support.
We have a motion and support to approve the fiscal year 2021 budget adjustment for the jail project, liability insurance, and drain at large. Discussion.
Following the approval of the current budget, these three categories have dollar amounts that were not budgeted for, and we do need to cover those in our budget to be compliant with law. The jail project, we continue to have engineering costs and architectural costs, and I believe this dollar amount includes a projection of additional costs right through the current cost obligations that have already been paid and projected costs through the end of the fiscal year. The MMRMA retention fund, we did pay the premium, which I think we budgeted a little bit more than what the premium actually was. So the difference between the $70,000 that the MMRMA asked us to place into our retention fund, that overpayment was subtracted, leaving a balance of $61,803. Now, the comment on the retention fund, and Margaret, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's kind of like a deductible. If you have lawsuits, the MMRMA starts setting aside money because whether you lose or win the lawsuit, you have an obligation to pay us the first, I don't know, is it $70,000 or $75,000 of those costs? So the retention fund supports that.
Margaret, you muted.
So sorry. It's yes, Commissioner, it's 75,000. And what they do is they assign a certain amount that they assign to those cases. So we're just in a situation that, hopefully we won't need all of that, but at this point, we need to pay into it.
Okay, and then the final is the county's portion of the drain at large assessment. The only question I had in committee, and I don't know, Margaret, if you've had a chance to get an answer. I know I go to the township meetings, and I'm somewhat familiar with the drain code, but not extremely familiar. I know townships pay a at-large amount from their budget for drain work in those townships. If that drain crosses a highway or a county road or a railroad property, they also pay an assessment. But this county at large, is that a assessment that we get?
Yes, I'm sorry, just shake my head. Yes, sir.
It's
It
an
is-
obligation that doesn't
Yes,
get reimbursed.
It does not get reimbursed. That's the county share.
Okay. So anyhow, by adopting this budget amendment, it brings us up to the monies we need to cover those costs.
Okay, any further discussion among commissioners? Hearing and seeing none, Clerk Lux, a roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Swaney,
Yes.
Commissioner Hope,
Yes.
Commissioner Engler,
Yes.
Commissioner Jelzinski,
Yes.
Commissioner Hutchinson,
Yes.
Commissioner Marino,
yes,
Commissioner Horton.
Yes.
Votes cast is 7 ayes, 0 nays. Motion passed, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Clerk Lux.
Okay, item number 3 is resolution number 21-05-03, state revenue sharing payment amounts. Motion reads, move to adopt the Isabella County Board of Commissioners resolution number 21-05-03, resolution in support of the state of Michigan to fulfill its statutory obligations with regard to state revenue sharing payment amounts and authorize the board chair to sign the same.
Support.
We have a motion and support to adopt resolution number 21-05-03, state revenue sharing payment amounts. Discussion.
Okay, so this is, would you like me to read the resolution now, Mr.?
Yes, please,
Okay.
Vice Chairman Hope.
Absolutely. Isabella County Board of Commissioners, resolution number 21-05-03, resolution in support of the state of Michigan to fulfill its statutory obligations with regard to state revenue sharing payment amounts. Whereas in 2005, state revenue sharing payments were discontinued, relieving the state budget of $182 million in annual state revenue sharing payments to counties, with the promise and agreement that these payments would be restored when each county's revenue sharing reserve fund was exhausted. And whereas Isabella County's revenue sharing reserve fund was exhausted in 2011, and whereas the Michigan Association of Counties has identified 60 Michigan counties that have received less than statutorily required amount of state revenue sharing since revenue sharing reserve funds were exhausted in a cumulative total of $117,617,804. And whereas the Michigan Association of Counties has identified an $844,161 permanent cut in base funding of state revenue sharing payments to Isabella County since 2011. And whereas the influx of American Rescue Plan funds to the state of Michigan, there are now likely sufficient funds available to make counties whole with regard to state revenue sharing payment shortfalls. And whereas unlike Isabella County's allocation from the American Rescue Plan Act, the payment of the state revenue sharing shortfall will not be restricted to COVID-19 related expenses, thereby making it eligible for critical infrastructure projects, pension funding, OPE contributions, and other expenditures. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Isabella County Board of Commissioners does hereby support and urge the state of Michigan to fulfill its statutory obligations with regard to state revenue sharing payments for all 60 Michigan counties identified by the Michigan Association of Counties that received less than their statutorily required amounts. Now therefore be it further resolved that the Isabella County Administrator Controller shall send copies of this resolution to the Governor of the State of Michigan, the Majority Leader for the Michigan Senate, the Speaker of the Michigan House of Representatives, and Isabella County State Legislative Delegation for their consideration and action.
Thank you, Vice Chairman Hope. You heard the resolution. Commissioners, any further discussion?
I'll just add, like we talked about in the work session, you can see the graph in your staff report where our state revenue sharing kind of fell off that cliff that we talked about in 2010 and was restored some years later back to the 2009 level. So we lost a bunch of revenue from the state in that.
And the two people on the board, I know Commissioner Moreno has the most seniority on the board. I think, Jim, it was in your first 2 years or first 4 years that you were on the board that this cut took place.
Yeah.
I know former Chairman Green, he used to always say when it was budget time, that was one of his mantras. We never got that money back. We never got that money back. That was his mantra. So hopefully this can be a start and maybe we can recoup some revenue that's due this county. So any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, Clerk Lux, a roll call vote, please. Mindy, you're muted. Sorry.
Commissioner Hope,
Yes.
Commissioner Engler,
Yes.
Commissioner Jalzinski,
Yes.
Commissioner Hutchinson,
Yes.
Commissioner Marino,
Yes.
Commissioner Swaney,
Yes.
Commissioner Horton.
Yes.
Votes cast are 7 ayes, 0 nays. Motion passed, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Clerk Lux.
Mr. Chairman, that completes the work of the Finance and Administration Committee.
Thank you, gentlemen. Next up, Criminal Justice and County Affairs Committee. We have no business. So that brings us to the Human Resources and Public Works Committee.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Our first item is resolution number 21-05-01, County Department of Veterans Affairs. The motion reads, move to adopt Isabella County Board of Commissioners Resolution number 21-05-01, adoption of Public Act 192 of 1953 to maintain a County Department of Veterans Affairs and authorize the board chair to sign the same.
Okay, this is a,
Oh, Terry.
Need a motion.
Terry, you got to support it.
yes,
Terry, no, you got to support it, Terry.
Support it.
support.
All right, we have a motion and support to adopt the resolution number 21-05-01, County Department of Veteran Affairs. Discussion, please.
Yeah, this is a, Public Act 192 of 1993 was established by the state of Michigan to allow the counties to create a county VA office. The county VA office has provided assistance to the veterans, securing their benefits for the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs, as well as consolidating Soldiers Relief, Public Act 214, and Veterans County Burial Public Act 235 into a location called the County Veterans Affairs, which we've just never put it on file before. We've been able to use it, but this will actually tie it up and create a resolution for this.
Commissioner Hutchinson, could you read that resolution, please?
All right. I'm not sure that I have it, Jim. Is it the County Department of Veterans Affairs creation?
Just a second here. I'll bring it up.
I apologize.
That's all right. You know, it's in with the rest of the background packet, but I see it. I can read it. I can read it right now.
Okay.
County Department of Veterans Affairs Act 90. Oops, that's not it. Okay, Isabella County Board of Commissioners Resolution number 21-05-01, adoption of Public Act 192 of 1953 to maintain County Department of Veterans Affairs. Whereas Public Act 192 of 1953 allows the County Board of Commissioners to maintain a County Department of Veterans Affairs under the administration of a 3 to 7 member Veterans Affairs Committee. And whereas the Soldiers Relief Program, along with the powers and duties of the Soldiers Relief Commission established under PA 214 of 1899 are hereby transferred to the County Department of Veterans Affairs. And whereas the Veterans Affairs Committee shall appoint a veteran service officer and such other necessary employees as shall be necessary to carry out the provisions of Public Act 192 of 1953. And whereas Public Act 192 of 1953 establishes the County Veterans Service Fund within the state treasurer and under the administration of the Michigan Veterans Affairs Agency to provide grants for counties for county veteran service operations, and the Isabella County Board of Commissioners intends to utilize such funds through the available grant program. And whereas the Isabella County Board of Commissioners have determined it is in the best interest of Isabella County and its veteran population to maintain a county Department of Veterans Affairs to perform such duties and exercise such powers as shall be necessary in carrying out the provisions of Public Act 192 of 1953 and all other benefits to which veterans may be entitled. Now therefore be it resolved by the Isabella County Board of Commissioners that on May 4th, 2021, the County Department of Veterans Affairs is hereby maintained under the authority of PA 192 of 1953 as amended.
Thank you, Commissioner Moreno. Any further discussion among commissioners before we take a vote on the Isabella County Board of Commissioners Resolution number 21-05-01? Okay, hearing and seeing none. Clerk Lux, a roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Engler,
Yes.
Commissioner Jazinski,
Yes.
Commissioner Hutchinson,
Yes.
Commissioner Marino,
Yes.
Commissioner Swaney,
Yes.
Commissioner Hope,
Yes.
Commissioner Horton.
Yes.
Votes cast, 7 ayes, 0 nays. Motion passed, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Clerk Lux.
Okay, number 2 on the list is professional engineering service agreement of the Chippewa River project. And it reads, move to approve the professional engineering service agreement for the Isabella County Parks and Recreation, Parks and Chippewa River Erosion and Canoe Launch Project with the Spicer Group Incorporated of Saginaw, and authorize the board chair to sign the same.
Support.
We have a motion and support to approve the professional engineering services agreement, the Chippewa River project. Discussion.
Yeah, this is the project going on that we've been talking about for the last few months. And it's actually, Sue Ann put it out for bids, had 4 bids come in, and this is the company that best fits it to do it. Somebody that we've worked with before, and just thought that that was the best company to go with.
Okay, any further discussion among commissioners? I'd just like to echo what Vice Chairman Hope mentioned earlier today in our business meeting. The enjoyment I think we who live in our county and who don't live in our county get out of our rivers and parks. That there's such a jewel to this community. I know Administrator Controller McAvoy talks about the Commission on Aging. I'm not much of an outdoors person. I never used to be till I moved to Isabella County, and it got a lot of joy kayaking up and down. I shouldn't say up the river, down the river. The Chippewa River, but I guess you do go up if you put it at Majeski's Landing. You kind of go into that Hupsher's Pit, so you kind of do got to go back up if you want to get up there. But what a beautiful area we live in. So like I said, this is just This just helps improve everything. So, oh, yeah, Commissioner Jalazinski.
And I think the county is very fortunate in that in its parks, we probably have control of about 2.5 miles, both banks of the Chippewa River, which I think is phenomenal for a county government. Yeah, you may have state forests and state parks that have more than that, but I don't think there's very many counties that have that type of control over quality water.
Okay, thank you. Seeing no further discussion, Clerk Luck, it's a roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Hutchinson,
Yes.
Commissioner Marino,
Yes.
Commissioner Swaney,
yes,
Commissioner Hope,
Yes.
Commissioner Engler,
Yes.
Commissioner Jazinski,
Yes.
Commissioner Horton.
Yes,
Votes cast, 7 ayes, 0 nays. Motion passed, Mr. Chairman.
thank you, Clerk Lux.
Okay, the next item is Senior Project Fresh Market Fresh. The motion reads, move to approve memorandum of agreement between the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services Aging and Adult Services Agency and the Isabella County Commission on Aging for Senior Project Fresh Market Fresh, and authorize the board chair to sign the same.
Support.
We have a motion and support to approve the memorandum of agreement for the Senior Project Fresh Market Fresh. Discussion, please.
Okay, this is a real popular program that's been going on for years. It involves the Commission on Aging to participate in it. And it's a program that matches monies at the farmer's market for seniors to purchase more than to have a bonus purchase, actually. And it's managed through the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services, Aging and Adult Service Agency, and through local organizations like the Commission on Aging, the Michigan State University Extension, and the Community Action Program. And under it, the Commission on Aging will provide coupons to purchase fresh, nutritious, unprepared, local grown fruits and vegetables from authorized farmers markets and roadside stands to residents of Isabella County, 60 years and older, with gross incomes of below 185% of the poverty level. And it's been really well received, and we're looking forward to doing that again this year. Any questions or comments on that?
Any further discussion? Seeing and hearing none, Clerk Lux, a roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Swaney,
yes,
Commissioner Hope,
Yes.
Commissioner Engler,
Yes.
Commissioner Jazinski,
Yes.
Commissioner Hutchinson,
Yes.
Commissioner Marino,
Yes.
Commissioner Horton.
Yes,
Votes cast, 7 ayes, 0 nays. Motion passed, Mr. Chairman.
thank you, Clerk Lux.
Okay, number 4, the motion reads, move to approve Region 7 Area Agency on Aging purchase of service provider agreement, amendum M, COVID-19 premium pay in the home providers, and authorize the board chair to sign the same.
Support.
We have a motion and support to approve the Region 7 AAA purchase of service provider agreement addendum M. Discussion.
Yeah, this is a program that takes us through the end of the year now, and we've been talking about it. It kicks that in the $2.25 premium pay for the workers. And as of now, we have one individual who's taken use of this. But it's a one that we agree that it's a program that's well needed and well used.
Okay, any further discussion among commissioners? Hearing and seeing none, Clerk Lux, a roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Hope,
Yes.
Commissioner Engler,
Yes.
Commissioner Jazinski,
Yes.
Commissioner Hutchinson,
Yes.
Commissioner Marino,
Yes.
Commissioner Sweeney,
Yes.
Commissioner Horton.
Yes.
Votes cast 7 ayes, 0 nays. Motion passed, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Clerk Lux.
Okay, item 5 is a resolution number 21-05-02, a 4-year term limit for county commissioners. The motion reads, move to adopt Isabella County Board of Commissioners Resolution number 21-05-02, supporting passage of legislation to adopt 4-year terms for county commissioners and authorize the board chair to sign the same.
Support.
I have a motion and support to adopt resolution number 21-05-02, 4-year terms for county commissioners. Discussion.
Okay, at this time, this is a possibility that's going on in the Michigan Senate. I will now at this time read the resolution. Isabella County Board of Commissioners Resolution number 21-05-02, supporting passage of legislation to adopt 4-year terms for county commissioners. Whereas the 1963 Michigan Constitution stipulated 4-year terms for the County Board of Supervisors, the preceding body to today's Board of Commissioners, and whereas the legislature voted in 1966 to abolish boards of supervisors and formally replace them with boards of commissioners after the 1968 elections, and whereas the Public Act 261 of 1966 promulgated that the length of terms for the new county commissioners shall be concurrent with that of state representatives as specified in Article 4, Section 3 of the Michigan Constitution. And whereas the scope of duties of a county commissioner has gracefully increased in the last century, road patrols, indigent defense, mental health treatment and substance abuse prevention programming, solid waste pickup and disposal, food and water supply safety, parks operations, economic development efforts, emergency management and response. And whereas Michigan is one of the only 5 states in the United States that provides for exclusively 2-year terms for county commissioners. And whereas all other county and township elected officials in Michigan are elected to terms at least 4 years. And whereas the position of county commissioner is highly complex oversight role that requires years to muster. And whereas legislation to amend state law to enact 4-year terms has been filed in the form of Senate Bills 242 and 245. And whereas the Michigan Association of Counties supports the legislation as introduced, therefore be it resolved that Isabella supports Senate Bills 242 and 245 to enact 4-year terms for county commissioners.
Okay, do we have the Isabella County Board of Commissioners Resolution number 21-05-02? Any further discussion? Commissioner Jalazinski.
I had the pleasure to run into Senator Rick Ottman at a meeting last week, and I brought this up to him, and he commented back. He had just heard about it from his home county clerk, and he knew nothing about the legislation. So there's still work to be done. I know I did go on to the Michigan Association of Counties site and sign the petition that went to our local senator and local House rep. I think it goes to other people too, but I'd encourage you all to do that because I think it has to be a good, solid voice from us commissioners to get this thing moving to the point of adoption. He was committal when I talked to him, so.
Any further discussion?
Yeah, this was brought forth last session too, and they got in arguments over should it be done during a presidential election or non-presidential. It is now in the committee of Ed McBroom and Jeremy Moss. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, I'll just add that given the, there's a lot of boards and commissions that we all sit on, and a 4-year term would add some permanencies, a little more stability to a lot of those boards and commissions.
Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, Clerk Lux, a roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Engler,
Yes.
Commissioner Jalazinski,
Yes,
Commissioner Hutchinson,
Yes.
Commissioner Marino,
Yes.
Commissioner Swaney,
Yes.
Commissioner Holt,
Yes.
Commissioner Horton.
Yes.
Votes cast, 7 ayes, 0 nays. Motion passed, Mr. Chairman.
That concludes the work of the Public Works and Human Resources Committee, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, gentlemen. Next up, we move to intergovernmental affairs, which we have no business in. Administrator controller, nothing under that. Move to unfinished business, nothing. New business, we have nothing under that. Brings us to general public comments. Nicole, anything?
We have no one for general public comment at this time, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, we'll wait just a few moments. Okay, I'll close general public comments, which moves us to announcements. Commissioners, any announcements?
Mr. Chairman, I have an announcement.
Yes, go ahead, Clerk Lux.
On May 12th of this year at 10 a.m., our Isabella County Apportionment Commission will be meeting for the first time. It will be held on Zoom and also on the county YouTube channel. And I just wanted to let you guys know so that you guys can tune in if you'd like to. And there will be public comment section too, if any of you would like to comment. Thank
Real
you.
quick, yeah, Clerk Lux, real quick, if you could remind me, is that the one I think I've said on before? Am I still on that one or am I off that
No,
one now?
this one is the county clerk, the county treasurer, the county prosecutor, the chairman of the Republican board, and the chairman of the Democratic board.
Okay,
This is where we figure out the districting lines and how many commissioners and it's been, so far it's been pushed until we won't have our census numbers until September 30th. So this is just our organizational, we'll look and see, you know, do we need a budget? Do we need mapping software? And just kind of throw things around at this meeting.
okay, very good. Any other commissioners or Margaret, anything to add? Yes, Margaret. Or
Yes.
Administrator Controller McAvoy, sorry.
No, you're fine. I would like to add just some comments I've heard recently from random folks in the public that I interact with. And also a number of our employees and department heads, that there are a lot more people watching the YouTube channel of your meetings than you may think. They may not be watching it right this minute, but sooner or later, it's interesting to me how many people have commented to me about how they are able to kind of observe and quote unquote, maybe not really, if they're not calling into public comment, that's fine. But I don't want you to think that there's nobody paying attention to what's happening in the Board of Commissioners meeting, because I've had a lot of people tell me they are watching.
Thank you. I think that just emphasizes, I mean, there's been, for the last year plus, there's been a lot of harshness in our world. But out of that, making lemonade out of the situation, I think the Zoom meetings like we're having now, I think that's going to stay. Not as far as our meeting itself here, but in attending like other meetings, like, you know, Commissioner Moreno and myself, I attended my first district health board meeting just last week. That was the first on-site meeting. And that was quite the travel. That was about an hour drive. So I can see where meetings like this will open up a whole new realm, probably be just as productive and also save time and effort. You can do other things other than sit in the car. So again, making lemonade out of lemons. So with that, I have nothing further to add. So if I can get a motion and support for adjournment, please.
So moved, Marino.
Support, Jelzowski.
We have a motion and support to adjourn. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. We are adjourned at 7:40. Thank you very much, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
See ya.
Stay safe.
Right.